has been quite some time since I've made a video. Not going to give any excuses for my absence, but we are just going to move forward. So, we are looking at today. We're going to look at yesterday, the price movements. Okay. Now, this is based off of the first, say, 7 videos, 7, 8, probably 6 videos of the Trader 2022 mentorship of ICT on YouTube. Okay. So 8:30 in the morning. That's whenever stock market opens Central Time. 7:30 is whenever news is released. Okay. So looking at 7:30, we're going to go to the 15-minute chart. This makes it easier to find it. That's 15 seconds. I don't need that. 15 minutes. So 15-minute chart. It makes it easier to find it. Where am I at? What is it? 15-minute guy. So you see this giant area. You can see 7:30, 8:30. You see that giant fall down. You know that this high and this high, something's going to happen in here because you see the high take that out. So something's going to happen within this high that's going to make this happen, right? It's for back testing purposes. I use 15-minute to find days and to find the days and to find trading hours that I would trade in. So now we're going to jump down to a 2-minute time frame. I'm going to explain why I thought this would be a good area to trade in. Now, first of all, 2-minute chart would show you that this would be an opportunity here, but you can't really make any decisions yet because you haven't seen the 1-minute chart yet. Okay. I'm not saying the 8:46 in the morning means anything. I just wanted to all be straight. But anyway, this fair value gap never traded inside of it, and there's a volume imbalance on these two. I'm going to show you in a second. But on 2-minute chart, there's not much happening. So we're going to jump down to the 1-minute chart and see what's going on. This is what I see whenever I look at the 1-minute chart. Okay. This opportunity here, I see a volume imbalance that's been corrected out already. The volume imbalance here was already taken out by this high, so I'm not really worried about that. This volume imbalance was pretty big. It's pretty nice looking volume imbalance. So this volume imbalance was nice. It retraded into the fair value gap, and on top of that, it was retraded into here. You have 2 trading opportunities, and the reason why I'm trading this area was because 7:30 is whenever news comes in, and based on episode 4 or 5, it very explicitly addresses. Look at the swing high, first swing high to the left, which is this one here or is this one here, whichever one that you'd like. But looking on the 5-minute chart, I was looking at before at 7:30, it was this swing high. It's kind of more like a run up. Let's look at the 5-minute chart one more time. You see right here, this is more like a run up. This is the really the swing high that we're looking for here at 7:30. Down to the 1-minute chart again. Okay, so now we're going to look at entry points. Okay, the volume imbalance here, tested once, tested twice, to the tick. Literally, cannot get any more perfect than that, right? Right there, right there. If you wanted to trade this fair value gap, you could have, and it would have worked out for you once, twice, 3 times. Does this come across as a coincidence to anybody? This looks pretty amazing, I gotta say. I have an idea And what the idea is for the next 2 months, market replay on Tradeovate all 2 months. The month of March and the month of April. March and April are going to be market replay. I can finish that in like a week. So market replay the entire month of March, market replay the entire month of April, and I'm going to put on a Google Sheets my profits and losses. The profits and losses are going to be completely based off of this model, right? So this 2022 mentorship model, it's going to be very, very strict on this, right? So it has to be before 7:30 in the morning. The previous swing high has to take it out, and after it takes it out, there has to be a fair value gap pattern within it. If there's not, as per ICT, in one of those episodes, he mentions if there's not, there's no trade available. It was whenever he was explaining. I reviewed this information earlier. It was on, I believe, episode number 5, where he was talking about market structures. Let me find it. Or was it 4? Was it 6? I think it was 6. Maybe it was 6. Yeah, here. It has to be here.
And it closes above it with an energetic displacement higher. Once you see that, then you have a trade idea being birthed. You don't have a trade entry yet until you determine if it and the displacement low. In between,
here it comes.
Right before the market structure is broken bullishly, and the low that ran into the sell stops, that is your range. This is exactly where you're looking for a fair value gap. So in that range, that's where your bullish fair value gap
here it comes
resides. If there isn't one there, you don't have a trade.
There it is. That's all you needed to hear. That right there. If there is not one there, you do not have a trade, right? So now that we have that information, if we do not see a fair value gap within the first couple of bars, the first movement downwards, right? The elephant in the pool, right? If we don't see it come down and develop these fair value gaps, we do not have a trade, right? And that's going to be very strict. Don't know what happened here. Should be, there we go. So you have 2 opportunities. 1, 2. There's another one for the other fair value gap, and you have one here and one here for the volume imbalances. Cannot get any more perfect than that. You could put your short orders in here. And let's talk take profit zones. Take profit zones could really be wherever you'd like them to be. Personally, I'd probably put it down here. That'd be number 1, and number 2 probably be down here. I wouldn't go for down here as a bit of a newbie, and being inexperienced, I would not go for very wide trades or very large trades because you're still learning, right? So based on the profit and loss, pull up the calculator here. The entry was here around 672. So you have 672, and your take profit goal, let's just say it was down here, right? We got a little ballsy, and we wanted to go down here, 8607. So minus 8607, that's 65 points on the upside. So if we were to take, we're doing micro contracts, right? And we're doing 1% of 50,000, which is $500. So if we have that opportunity here at 72, bring that up or bring that down, 72 right there, perfect. And the swing high, I like doing it up here as my stop loss. I like doing it. Okay, so that's my stop loss up there. What's the difference between those two? 72 and 95, 93, so around 21. So 21 points. 21 points multiplied by 2, because that's how much money is per point on the micro for 1 micro contract. Okay, and we can divide 500 divided by 42. for $42 per micro contract for one stop loss, right? Divide that by 500 because that's how much my current risk is, which is 11.9 contracts. So you have 11 contracts, you can 12 if you want, but 11.9 contracts. You can put 11 contracts on here. That's just above one mini contract right there at 72 right here. That would be your entry. This would be your stop loss. And as we said before, I believe it was down here around 607 would be your take profit area. Drag it. So it wouldn't take you long to hit it, around 741. Probably take you around an hour to hit that. Right. So if you did that, if you got 62 points, was it? My memory, 62 points, roughly 62 points. So if we're at 72, down to 67, 72, around 65 points. So let's do 72 minus 7. 72 minus 7. We got 65 points. I always like to use calculator to verify, so I'm not looking like an idiot online. So we have 65 points. If we have 65 points, multiply that by 2 because per point is $2. Okay, multiply that by 2. Now multiply that by 11 because that's how much contracts we use. $1,500. I mean, that's pretty damn good for a $500 risk. That's 1 to 3. You know, and we had a lot of wiggle room left to go. I mean, if we were an experienced trader and maybe we anticipated it coming down here, I mean, that's 530. You know, from 672 down to 530 is 100. Let's see, where's 530? 530 to 672. That is 142 points. You made 142 points. Can we just do the math on that? 142 points multiplied by $2 per point is $284 for one mini contract. 11 is 3,000. That's an eval pass. That's a $50,000 eval pass with 11 micro contracts. All right, one trade. I mean, I'm just throwing this idea out there. This is what is going to happen for 2 months. The entirety of the month of March and the entirety of the month of April, market replay is going to be traded here. Market replay. So I was messing around here for a little bit. Okay, well, it got kicked off. I don't know why. Okay. So I was playing around for a little bit. Trading, you see I got some drawings going. But 5-minute chart. This is what I'm going to be doing. Let's just go ahead and do this. This is what I'm going to be doing. Okay. So we have all of the days here. So what the idea is at 7:30, what is the previous swing high? Excuse me. We have a previous swing high here. Previous swing high was up here. So previous swing high was up here. Where's my hotkeys? Okay, we have hotkeys available. There. It would be a bit of a weird one. I have to admit, but that's all right. 7:30. 7:30. Swing highs right there. Did not go above it, but let's go down to the 2-minute chart and see what happened. 2-minute chart. We can see that this is there. And we also have, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Let's move that to the 1 minute. just to verify everything here. That looks good. You also have this opportunity here. Now I want to mention something. Okay, my stop losses are always set really up here. I like to play it kind of safe since I'm in the beginning stages of trading. So that'd be that, and I would enter somewhere around in here. Let's make that, just round it off for the sake of the math. I don't have to do any weird numbers. I don't like doing decimals with math. It gets annoying. All right, so you go for these levels down here if you'd like. Sure, people would have went with this here. I would not doubt people looking for that short, but this is probably where I would be. It's the closest. It is the closest swing low that's around a bunch of other swing lows. I like to see stuff like this because it's very probable for it to hit it. And you can see before it makes its other drop, it hits this. So it comes in here, hits it perfectly. I mean, I didn't even see that before, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. That right there. So that would be my entry, my stop loss, and my exit. Now let's calculate the math. Okay, let's make this round off. Okay, we're good. And let's take this 739 minus 721. I'll probably do it in my head, but we're going to do it for a calculator anyway. 739 minus 721 is 18. 739, 721 to 18. Okay, so you have 18 points. We're going to have a lot of contracts. Okay, we're going to run out 17, 18 contracts in here. So 18 contracts. If we have 18 contracts, multiply that by 2, we have 36. Okay? That's $36 per point. Okay? I'm sorry. $36 per one contract for loss. So we have 500. Divide that by 36. I believe it was 36. We have 13 contracts. Okay? 18 multiplied by 2. Yeah, 36. And 500 is verify. 36 is what? 500 divided by 36 is 13 contracts. So we're trading with 13 contracts. Okay. Not only are we trading with 13 contracts, but we have a pretty decently sized profit here. I keep burping, man. It's every time I talk too much. Okay. So we're at 21. 21 minus 767. I made 33. That's 54. So you have 54 roughly of upside. So let's double check this. That's 21 and this is 677. So you have 677 minus 720. I did this so opposite, but doesn't matter. 721. We have 44. Are you sure? 721 minus 677. Yeah, okay. Making sure. So we have 44, and that's the upside. Multiply that by 2, which is 88. So you have 88, and 88. We multiply that by 13, I think it was. I think I remember it was 13. So 13. I mean, $1,200 is a good amount of money. $1,150. That's a good amount of cash, right? Do that a couple of times, and you have yourself a past 50K eval. If you're doing 250K, you can multiply that by 5, because 5 times 5 is 250. Well, 5 to 5 is 25, but you know what I'm saying. Put that by 5. Do that 3 times, and you have yourself a past 250K eval. So just make your risk make sense. Right? I had a lot of risk issues a few months ago, and I didn't understand risk as much as I do now. I thank my friend Shibu for showing me that and disciplining me on that, and I'm always making sure that my risk is set in place, because that's the most important part, right? Is your risk, and if you don't have your risk set in place, you can pretty much just kiss your trading career goodbye because you're not going to be consistently profitable really in any measure. But this is the template that I'm going to be taking, that I'm going to be using for the next 2 months, the entire month of March, the entire month of April. I probably knock it out in the next week. I'll upload videos of my progress reports. I will post at the probably around the middle of both months to show how it's going, and then we'll do a final video on how everything turned out towards at the very end. We'll do a final video displaying everything. Okay, so that's all I have. It has been an absolutely amazing day today. I'm very happy. It's in a great mood. But everything looks great. I have a lot of research to do. I have to watch the entire 41 videos again. I will be doing. I never watched the full 41 videos. What am I talking about? The majority of them again, right? I never watched the entirety of the mentorship yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But I'm going to be using SMT because I know that right now. Order blocks are not going to be incorporated until I fully understand them. And once I fully understand them, if that happens in between now and the final video that I upload, I'm going to be using them because I have developed a new skill. And realistically, after you develop new skills, you're going to want to implement that in your trading anyway. So I'm going to do that, make it more realistic. But for the most part, it's going to be the model that I just displayed twice. And after that, make the final video. And if I learn any skills in between that I back test and verify and it works, I will implement it into this experiment, and we will see the final result of my experiment here. I think it's going to be very fun. I think it's going to be a very good learning experience for me, and it's going to be a very useful resource and lots of important data that I could use to display the effectivity and the profitability of ICT the ICT 2022 mentorship information that he has blessed us with, and I'm very thankful for. I actually want to talk a little bit about some people that have left some comments on other people's videos about ICT. It's not my place, and it's not my business I'm the very least successful trader within the percentages, right? If there was any percentages of successful traders, I'm at the very bottom, right? And I plan on changing that, but the reality of it right now, I am at the very bottom. I've had some PAs, never got a payout, but I've had 2 PAs that I have not managed to get anything out of, but I'm looking forward to getting some payouts before the end of the year. But so people have said some very nasty things about ICT and his teachings, and one in particular comment stood out to me, right? The comment said that he has been studying ICT for several years, and all of that time was wasted. Now, I don't know about you, but if I were to notice something was not working for the first few months of data that I would review, and I'd look over it and I would improve and I would learn something else, and if it wasn't working for me for a couple of months and the data is proving that, then you know what, I'm going to go learn something else that he has. And if truly nothing that he does works, not a single thing, all the publicity that he has, all the effort that he's put into everything that he has on his YouTube channel alone, not even mentioning his Twitter and not mentioning his Spotify playlist, the Drunk Monkey, right? Not to mention all of that, do you really think that it's the responsibility of ICT's poor teachings, or is it the responsibility of you being unteachable? As I understand it, this man has spent several years learning something that didn't work for him. At what point did he finally understand, yeah, this isn't working, let's move on to something else? What was the point? What struck him that made him understand this is not working and I give up? Was there any data collected? Was there any slides? Was there any Google Sheets? Was there any documents? Was there any presentations made about his learnings that made him lose money or made him unsuccessful? What about his journey made it unsuccessful? I wish I could talk to him about it. I can't find the comment. I don't know what video it was under. I wish I could find it, but honestly, it's good that I haven't, because it would just take up more of my time, and my time is already dispersed in a couple of different areas, and it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna get into it now. But all I'm saying is, if you spend several years on something and you have not become successful, it is 100% on you. First of all, if all of this that I learned was bogus and it wasn't working, I would have left it off the table anyway and went and learned turtle soup. That's what I would have done. But the fact that someone stood here and learned and absorbed, and I given the benefit of the doubt, made data points, experimented, was doing the best that he could to put himself in the position to become a successful stock market trader within all of his ICT's teachings. For him to be in the position that he's in after everything that he's been through, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, after everything that he's been through and still unsuccessful, it's his fault. Not anybody else's. So him putting out there, or her, I don't know who it was, I don't remember, but for that person to put that kind of information out there is really a reflection of how poor he is at being taught information that has been broken down in such a simple and understandable level that literally a toddler can understand it. I don't know how you could make something easier for someone to understand. The only person that comes to mind that makes it easier is Rainer Teo, and he doesn't even teach anymore. He's more of like a family guy, right? He wants to spend time with his kids. Rainer Teo, I don't even want to get into that right now. I just have so much to say about him. He's a great person. But anyway, everything that I said right here, if you fall in that category, there's something that you're doing wrong. And if there's something that you're doing wrong, that one thing or many things is what is going to keep you where you're at forever, unless you do something about it. Something has to change. A flip has to switch, because if it doesn't, it's not going to work out for you, and you're going to be like that clown crying that he spent all this time and all these years and all this whatever you want to call it, money, I guess you can throw that in there too, chasing a tail of ICT and never catching it. That's the problem. But if you spent all that time chasing, you never got it, that's your responsibility, not anybody else's. That's his fault. Countless YouTube channels that I've seen, people trading ICT concepts. Zusi is a fantastic example. Dude crushes it. Of people trading ICT concepts and being successful at them, explaining them so everybody can understand it. And he still receives criticism on the level that he does. I don't understand it. Me and Shibu, real world example. Shibu is a very, very good trader. He's taught me a lot. All of which he's learned from ICT. Days where he pocketed $8,000 within a few days. Some days he would pocket a couple of $1,000. I'm trading a mini, right? But that is the difference between people and their ability to be taught. I'm a very teachable person. You can teach me anything and I'll be able to do it. Other people, you can sit down with them for 2-3 hours and they won't understand anything that you're saying. I'm not going to get into it, right? But for someone to make those comments about ICT has more to do about the person than it is the teacher. Some people truly are just unteachable. I believe ICT is a blessing to the world, and I'm very thankful that he does everything that he does. And if I ever get the opportunity to meet that man, I wanted to shake his hand and thank him for all that he's done for the community and what he's done for me. And the amount of information that he's put out there for absolutely free is incredible. And him being a firm believer in Christ is bonus points for me, from me. And ICT has shown me a lot about trading that I otherwise would never learn and never would have seen is out there. And I'm very thankful to have somebody like ICT deliver information for free. I'm not necessarily bowing down to him, but I am expressing a large amount of gratitude towards somebody that has put a lot of time, effort, and lots of information out there for the general public to absorb and be able to change their lives with. Thank you, ICT.